What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Social Sig vlog. It's currently January 10th of 2024, the first ever Social Sig vlog of 2024, and things are in full swing. Winter is in full swing. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys had a Happy New Year. I hadn't vlogged since before Christmas just because I got too busy on the road. I really just didn't make time or find time to vlog, but that's okay. I guess I'll kind of talk. This one might be a long one, or maybe I'll separate it into two parts. But overall, overall, yeah, had my first ever tour down south that I booked by myself. Basically just did a solo run down to, along with my girlfriend Sheila, my buddy Nick, and his girlfriend McKenna. Nick and McKenna came with us all the way down to Austin, so I'll kind of review. We drove to Kansas City, then we stayed in Arkansas that night after, this was December 26th, so the day after Christmas. Played a show in Kansas City, stayed with my buddy Jake Beanboy Henbess, who also was the sound engineer of In the Pocket, my last EP that I just put out. He's originally from Arkansas, so he was home for the holidays and just worked out perfectly that Rogers, Arkansas is right in between Kansas City and Dallas, where we were going next. So in Kansas City was the only place that we didn't have a hotel yet. So luckily it worked all out where I played Kansas City, drove down to Rogers after that. It was about a 11-hour day of driving, but alas, we got down to Rogers, Arkansas. Then after that, we went to Dallas, stayed there for 2 days, played a show in Denton, which is a little bit north of Dallas. And then we drove after that we stayed with Sheila's cousin, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for letting us stay at your house. And then we drove down to Austin, Texas. And then after Austin, we went to New Orleans to Gulf Shores to Atlanta, and Atlanta to Nashville, and then Nashville to home. So we're totally on the road for 13 days, and then I did 6 shows in 13 days. So I keep saying that one of the big themes that I kept feeling right away was that I wasn't super prepared for this tour, in a way that it was kind of booked. I started booking this more in I guess October, also November. But also I was so busy with finishing the In the Pocket EP that I didn't really focus a lot of time in the booking. But alas, it all worked out. But also I didn't really realize that there was so much downtime in between the days, which was also very great and very fun to explore the city. Specifically, Austin was one of my favorites, but at the same time, it took me a little bit to get into vacation mode, because initially I was all tour mode, kind of all about the tour, but then I had to kind of reassess and bring myself back and kind of let myself enjoy the vacation, because there's so many off days and I didn't really prepare for that as much as I should have. But it was good, and in ways also I was spending more money than I kind of expected to, but also made a good amount of cash on the road for gas and everything, so it all worked out. Hello, Crab Cake. And Crab Cake stayed with Sheila's sister and mom, and also our friends during the 2 weeks that we were gone. Come here, buddy. Whoa! He was very happy to see us when we returned, and we were super happy to see him. We were definitely missing him a lot. Oh my gosh, he's such a sweet little guy. Excuse me. But honestly, it does feel really good to be home. Being out on the road, it was literally an adventure every day, kind of waking up and then either exploring the city, either there's a show that night, or driving, and then staying at different people's places, which I'm always blown away by the hospitality on the road. With this last East Coast tour, it was super great. We only paid for one hotel on that run. But just I think one of my favorite parts is meeting and reconnecting with new people or old friends, staying with old friends, and it's just like a sleepover in a way, and just it's just really fun. And I think that like seeing all my old friends and them coming out to the shows and just talking and chatting and catching up has been really, really great. Um, and a lot of the times it's just picking up where we left off. So I'm very grateful for that and all my friends far away and near. I'm very fortunate for my support system that way. Um, let's see. And also on the road, kind of thought about one big thing was that I kept talking about the album I wanted to record for April. Realistically, I kind of, during my long drive, specifically from like New Orleans to Atlanta, just driving and thinking and planning out the future, I decided to postpone the album release of April to who knows when, maybe fall. But just with booking and hitting the road and how well In the Pocket has been received, I feel that I'm gonna stress myself out, and if I try to record an album during this late winter into spring, and I really want it to be something awesome. So I'm still gonna record some new singles, but as far as a new album, I'm definitely taking that pressure off myself to do that, which feels really good because now I'm focusing into, I guess, growing my merch and growing the brand and working on that, but also booking a tour for the West Coast. Working on getting a set together for like a different solo set with backing tracks, whereas my band would be backing tracks, which I'm really excited about. I've been working with Jake on that. Um, and then also doing some full band sets too. I'm kind of back and forth about like I would love to bring a band on the road and to do the whole band touring, but just realistically, being a DIY independent project right now, I don't have the capabilities of bringing a full band on the road with me, especially if I'm trying to be on the road for a month, which also is going to be really fun, kind of like a road trip, bringing crab cake as well, but trying to make the most out of it, especially financially. And in my head, I don't want to limit myself to like a solo act. I feel that a few times, like during this last tour, I've been playing as a solo act on bills with full bands, and it worked out really well for the most part. Like I got a lot of extremely nice compliments and nice words people had said about my set, which is really affirming. But also in my head, I had felt like I can do better. Like I don't know, like I can make my solo set much better and more entertaining. So I guess I've been working on that. So gonna get some backing tracks, and I just invested in a new pedal, which I'm really excited about. That'll play backing tracks, and then also, yeah, just to spice up my solo set much more, which feels like a good challenge. But also down the road, I definitely would love to bring a band on the road. I definitely see myself as a musician with a full band, but like I said, realistically, kind of going in that direction right now. I think about like the artists, let's see, like Ed Sheeran and Vance Joy or Cave Town. A lot of those dudes, they had been solo acts for a while. Tash Sultana, until they got to a certain point where they can bring a full band on the road. So I'm kind of going in that direction, and very excited for that new chapter. But definitely like local shows, as far as those go, I'm definitely gonna have the full band, and hopefully like more Midwest shows. But when it's possible, I'm gonna try to bring the full band on the road. But also, I'm gonna make it really cool, really complete my solo set to make it really, really dope. So stay tuned for that. So that's that rant. But yeah, the tour was overall really positive. It was a really great time. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say, but Austin, Texas was my favorite city. We were there for 3 days. We stayed there over New Year's Eve. got to see some comedy shows, played a really fun show at the Coral Snake, which was somewhat like pretty close to downtown. And Austin was not as big of a city as I thought it was. And also maybe it was because it was around the holidays, it wasn't as busy. Like the traffic was a breeze, which I hear the traffic can be pretty bad. But honestly, even this whole tour didn't get swamped in any traffic for the most part. Um, Saw some really funny comedy shows. Saw Esther's Follies, which is I've heard it's a kind of a staple of like an Austin kind of show. Laughed really hard at it. Definitely would recommend. And then also went to the Kill Tony, one of my favorite podcasts slash YouTube shows. They did an arena show on New Year's Eve, and that was a blast. Had a really great time there. And that honestly was almost the whole essence of doing the whole Down South tour, is because I booked those tickets to the arena with the idea of maybe I could do a tour down south and pop back up. And it happened. So made it work, and just a really great time down south. Ate a lot of good food. Some of my favorites were Texas had some really good Mexican food. Had some quesadillas. They had some really, really good brisket. There's this place called The Joint in New Orleans that I had the best chicken I've ever had in my life. It was so good. Had some really good cornbread, big cornbread fan. Also Buc-ee's, stopped at a Buc-ee's for the first time, which it's kind of hilarious because I can't necessarily post anything about Buc-ee's now because I don't know if I didn't announce this yet. Actually, this might be somewhat new, but maybe I talked about this in the last vlog. But now it's official. I am officially sponsored by Quick Trip, the gas station slash convenience stores in the greater Midwest area. So that's very exciting. They had just shipped me some merch and some gift cards, and I will be making some content every now and then for Quick Trip. So it's kind of like a cool deal. Really, really fucking stoked, actually. It's pretty cool to be sponsored by Quick Trip. You don't hear about that too much, but it basically stemmed from a Instagram story when we were playing a show up in St. Paul last December of 2022. I put my phone up and basically started jumping in front of Quick Trips, and then every time I've been to a Quick Trip, tried to just make a meme out of it, and just kept tagging Quick Trip and said, "Sponsor me, Quick Trip, sponsor me." And a year later, they replied and they're like, "Okay, you got me. What's your email?" And they DM'd me and asked what my email was, set up a meeting. And now a year later of doing that, I am officially sponsored by Quick Trip and will be getting merch and all that fun stuff. So I think it's all pretty hilarious. I genuinely love Quick Trip. And they're definitely, it definitely helps out to be sponsored by them, especially being on the road so much. That's pretty fun. But also going back to what I was saying before, I can't necessarily post about Buc-ee's because in the contract I can't post about any other gas stations or convenience stores, which makes sense. But Buc-ee's was a very, very cool experience. I don't know if you guys know what a Buc-ee's is, but it's basically a gas station on steroids. It's almost half the size of a Walmart probably, but it's just the craziest gas station you'll ever see. It's just insane. And maybe just Google a Buc-ee's, Buc-cees. But yeah, it was insane. So stopped there. The brisket was really good. Brisket sandwich. Also kind of crazy. The Kill Tony show I mentioned earlier, there's this comedian named Enrique Chacon, who lives outside of Austin, and I've kind of followed his comedy for a while. He's kind of like a young rising comic. But on the show, he'll talk about working at a Buc-ee's. So in the back of my head, I was always like, okay, maybe if I go to a Buc-ee's, maybe I'll see him. I just always kind of have an eye out. But we were literally, this story is actually kind of crazy, but we were literally leaving Austin, Texas for New Orleans, me and Sheila. And took a wrong turn on a highway, and I was like, oh shit. And then we were pretty hangry in the morning, trying to get some coffee. Stopped and got some gas elsewhere, but we were like, we gotta stop at a Buc-ee's. So just randomly putting a Buc-ee's in my GPS on the way to New Orleans, and went to the first one I saw, and got in. There's 3 sides of the building. Went to the right side for whatever reason, parked the car, and then started walking into Buc-ee's, and then the first person I see was Enrique Chacon in a Buc-ee's uniform. And literally the night before New Year's Eve, he was on the show of Kill Tony. And it was maybe it was like 11 in the morning, but he was there. And I was literally, I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, and kept walking. And then I turned around, I was like, I gotta meet this dude. So I turned around, went up to him, gave him a fist bump, and I was like, okay, dude, great show last night, big fan. He's like, oh man, thank you so much. And I was like, dude, I can't believe you're at work right now. And he's like, oh man, I know, it's crazy. And then I was like, all right, have a good one, Happy New Year. And then that was that. I didn't want to make too big of a scene out of it, because I don't know, it just didn't want to, so... that was really crazy. That was actually wild. I kept thinking about that for a while. Oh, sorry, my nose is a little ready. That was gross. Thought about that for a while, so that was really cool. Just literally such a stars aligning moment. Just kind of weird. I kind of maybe manifested it. I definitely thought about seeing him at a Buc-ee's. I don't know. It's just kind of wild. So that was dope. Oh my gosh, what else? I'm health-wise, I stayed pretty healthy all throughout tour. Stayed with some people who had cats, which my allergies were flaring up a little bit, but nothing too bad. I got some decaf coffee when grocery shopping yesterday. Also saw the movie Saltburn, which if you haven't seen that movie, fucking crazy. Definitely one of my favorite movies that I've seen in a long time. I'm a big movie junkie, so definitely check that movie out. Very crazy. It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, so I guess coming up, I've just been working on booking lots of shows, booking this West Coast tour. And like I said, I'm kind of like really gonna get my merch game online. Getting my merch store up and running. And also I've been working with this local distributor for t-shirts instead of doing custom ink. Got a River West radio show on this Saturday in River West. They don't do shows too often, but me and Wave Chappelle, he's a bigger Milwaukee rapper, are joining forces and playing this River West radio show. So that'll be really fun. And there's a bunch of other local shows going on that night. So I know ours is at 7 p.m. So if you guys are around, hit that one, and then you can hit all these other ones. I got a podcast today with Emmett Mulrooney, my good buddy who's moving to LA. He's a really great, interesting guy, especially in the music realm of things. I've known him for a while. So it'd be cool to chat with him. And then doing a podcast with Newski later today at 4:30. Haven't seen him in a while. He just got back from a European tour. So it'd be cool to chat with him about that. Let's see, got some more podcasts coming up, playing some more shows. But literally in February/March, kind of taking a breather with shows, which will feel really good to focus on booking and branding, and also reaching out to more people about maybe getting a booking agent, maybe getting a booking agent's the big one, but also sending emails out to some labels, or I think booking agents the good one. I'm trying to find a booking agent. I just emailed this cool company last night and have started talking with them. But yeah, things are good. Can't complain, honestly. 2023 wrapped up and played 78 shows. So thank you guys if you came to a show and supported Socialist League in any way. a lot of the times I feel crazy grateful to be in this position, to be doing music full time, and trying to make it work. So thank you for your support. 2023 was a huge, massively big year for Social Sig, and excited for 2024. So really, just big things looking ahead. Also, just for some acclamations of 2023, Social Sig was named Best Band of the Year by Mid Park. I think I talked about this in the last vlog. Best Band of the Year in the Midwest by Mid Park, and best, I got voted for Scene Impact Award, which is basically the scene wouldn't be the same without the person. So that feels really fucking crazy, almost hard to believe a lot of the time. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. But thank you for that, and thank you for voting. And also Milwaukee won Scene of the Year, Milwaukee won Show of the Year for the Turner Hall Ballroom, which is fucking nuts. And Mid Park is a smaller kind of blog, Midwestern blog, ran by a guy named Kevin Vargas, kind of all things local indie, DIY. And he's got a really good following on the socials. Pretty, I don't know, in my head I kept like almost discounting like I know like he will say too, like a lot of his followers are Milwaukee, a lot of his but he's from Cleveland, so I guess my dad put it in a really great way of reassuring me that it just kind of goes to show how strong of a scene Milwaukee has and how in tune everybody in Milwaukee is to the local music scene. It doesn't necessarily mean it's biased by any means, because I mean, the dude's from Cleveland, and there's a lot of Cleveland acts who got nominated, a lot of Chicago acts that got nominated, but for whatever reason Milwaukee basically swept a lot of the awards. So that was pretty cool to see, and kind of cool to have my start thinking of it in that light, of how supportive the Milwaukee scene is of each other, and how we're all very much in tune with like we're doing something really special here. So very proud of that. Very proud of that, and always have the greatest love for Milwaukee. Very happy to be from here, and I feel like talking to people on tour from this last tour, people would sometimes ask like how the music scene in Milwaukee is, and I can't help but to just brag a lot about it and how awesome it is. And I feel very proud to be from Wisconsin and Milwaukee. So very dope stuff. Also, just got awarded Best Indie Band of the Year by Shepherd Express. So that was freaking awesome. Thank you guys for voting on that one as well. Absolutely freaking wild to be named, I guess, best in the city for that. I don't know, just like 3 years ago, like it just feels really good to grow this project, and that my hard work pays off, and that the things I'm doing do go noticed. So thank you guys a lot. It really means the world. And got some more just lots of stuff coming up. I know this is probably the longest vlog I've ever done. It kind of feels like we're just hanging out, but I guess wrapping up 2023, that was a really incredible milestone. And 2024, I'm very excited to tour out west, hopefully find a booking agent, maybe a manager, and maybe just take this to the next level. I want to start touring, going on bigger tours. I would love to do join a bigger band on their headline tour and support them as an opening band. That would be an insane dream. I've been really kind of trying to manifest that and making it happen. So trying to reach out to people. 2024 is going to be big. Very fortunate that this is my life and this is happening. So stay tuned for more. I just ordered some new lighters as well. These are the old colors. I did settle on doing Is that correct? I did settle on doing orange lighters with navy blue text. So those will be coming soon. And then, like I said, more t-shirt designs on the way. I'm going to get my merch store up and running. Yeah, happy 2024, y'all. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you did, I think that's all I want to talk about. Maybe see you at a show. Next big Milwaukee shows coming up with the full band would be March 2nd at the Cooperage and March 30th at the Mad Planet. Playing Mad Planet. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get stanky. Let's boogie. And then also on April 27th, we are headlining the Vivarium, the new venue in town, which is kind of like the Back Room 2.0. So really fucking excited, y'all. Lots to look forward to, and hope you guys are doing well. And feel free to reach out. Shoot me a message whenever. Much love, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye, guys. Crab Cake says bye. We're about to go on a run, and much love and bye.